Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear friends, this is Mohammed Nisarul, member of SIO Karimnagar unit. I am here in front of you today to address a very important issue and to introduce the ongoing campaign of SIO Telangana. But before I do that, let me tell you something very important. The youth of this nation is facing multi-diverse issues in the form of homosexuality, adultery, pornography, and lot more, addiction towards internet, drugs, alcohol, and the list is never ending. And we feel that it's important to address these issues, as these issues are making the life of sincere people across the world very hard. And we believe that if these issues are not resolved sooner, then the future of this nation is in great danger, because the future of this nation is today's youth, and India can be called as land of youth, where we can find over 250 millions of people from the age group of 10 to 24. SIO has been working tirelessly since the day it was formed with one objective, which was moral upliftment of students' community and their educational development as well. And we have been taking lots and lots of initiatives in the past. And this time, after doing a lot of research and after feeling the importance of this issue, we have decided to initiate this campaign. We are calling it Aasha-E-Zindagi, Hope for Life. As SIO always focus on lots and lots of issues, but this time, in this campaign, we are trying to focus on one important issue, which is called addiction. Yes, my friends, you heard it right. There are lots of forms of addictions available nowadays. Addiction towards internet, addiction towards drugs, addiction towards alcohol, tobacco. Tobacco can be in many forms, smoking, guttas and all, pornography. There are a lot of types of addictions. Since we have started this campaign, the motive of ours was to bring massive awareness in students' community. We want to find the root cause of why these addictions, where the addictions are coming from. And we want to reach masses and let them know what are the ill effects of addictions and what kind of problems it's going to cause to them in future. Well, in this context, we have been researching a lot and we found something very interesting which is worth sharing. We found that the things which we knew about addictions all the time was actually wrong. Like, for time's sake, let us consider an experiment. Believe that from this day onwards, you guys are taking heroin for 20 days consecutively. And according to what we have been told or what we have been listening, it's believed that we are going to be getting addicted towards that heroin, towards that drug, because we believe that it has some chemical hooks by taking which, it could be anything, drugs or alcohol or smoking, we are going to become addicted to it. But my research tells that that is not the case. Taking something regularly, consuming something regularly will not make us addicted towards it. Yeah, it obviously plays a role in that, but that's not the 100% what we can say game from which a person gets addicted. You know what really happens? It's being purposelessness which makes someone addictive towards something. To prove my point, I'll just give you one example. Like, after shooting this video, after recording this one, I'm going back to my home, and on my way home I unfortunately met with an accident, and the people who saw me immediately rushed me towards a nearby city hospital, and unfortunately I got lots and lots of injuries on my head. Now what the first thing that the doctor will do? He will give me loads of diamorphine. Yes, my friends, diamorphine is a drug. It's a form of heroin which actually is pure than the one which we will find outside from the drug dealers. It's actually contaminated. So I will be getting that heroin, diamorphine, that drug, consecutively for the days, the time till I get recovered from that. So what happened to me after I get recovered and after I come back fit and fine from the hospital? Will I be a drug addict? Of course not. I will be happy and I will be thanking God that He has recovered me. I am fit and fine now. But if taking something regularly would have been the case, and in this case I've been giving the high doses of morphine, a drug, which has the same chemical hooks as heroin, I should be addicted. But no, it's not the case. Because I don't intended to take it. The only intention was, I was just wanted to get cured. And this is the same thing which is happening. Being purposelessness, not having anything to do, not knowing what to do with life, being isolated or beaten down by life is resulting towards this addictions. I'll give you an example. There were this lots and lots of people who have been researching in the past to prove this point. And there is this scientist who have been doing this research. He actually has done one experiment. I'll tell you what he has done. He has taken this cage, a small cage, in which he has kept two bowls of water. One bowl was with normal water suitable for drinking, and another bowl was with water which had high dose of drugs. He took a mouse, he kept it there, and he locked the cage. And then after a few hours, he came back. He opened the cage and he found that the mouse was actually dead because he had consumed that water. Why did he do that? Because in the cage he didn't find anything except this water too. And then he consumed it. Now what he did was he planned on modifying the same experiment. Now he did it with something new. He created something he called a rat park. Like it's literally a heaven for rats. Like he kept loads of cheese and tunnels and grass and other rats to play with. There are a lot of cool things in there. And then he just kept, this time he only kept that one bowl of water which had high amount of drugs in it. And then he locked the same mouse, in fact the other mouse, okay, the previous one was dead actually. So he locked a mouse in there and he kept him locked in that rat park for weeks. After a week he came to check on that mouse and he found that the mouse was actually alive. When he tested that mouse, he found that the mouse was actually healthy now. And when he checked that bowl of water in which he has mixed those drugs, that wasn't even touched, that wasn't even moved an inch from that place. Now what does that mean? What does that prove? That the mouse had other things to do other than just drinking that water. That's why it never cared about what was in there. He cared about the things he had, those cheese, those other fellow mouse who he had to play with, that grass on which he wanted to run, and he has done so many things. Now you might also think that that is the case of rats. Rats are not human beings. Our case is exactly different. But fortunately, at the same time, there was this another experiment happening on human beings. At the time of Vietnam War, US was involved in that war, and there were lots of US troops who were taking high dose of heroin in the time of war. And the citizens of United States of America were actually worried that after this war, they are going to be finding lots and lots of junkies on the roads of USA. I mean, lots and lots of drug addicts. But after the war was over, after America won that war, eventually, it turned out that 95% of American soldiers were just like normal. They didn't ever feel the need of taking drugs. So friends, what I am trying to imply here is, it's not that if you are going to take something regularly, it will make us drug addict. It is living without purpose, having nothing to do will make us one. Like there is this natural tendency of human beings, the need to bond with someone or something. Like if a human being is happier and healthier, then he enjoys his life, he bonds with his family members, his relatives, he has this healthy and happy relationships, he have, what we can say, something to get up from his bed every day, and he loves what he is doing. His life will be stress-free and he will stay away from all kind of addictions. At the same time, if he is isolated, beaten down by life, nothing to do, then eventually he will opt to go on with these temporary things which might give him satisfaction. And then he will slowly start even drinking and a lot of other things. And there is this one thing which we do with drug addicts. We try to boycott them. We try to, what we can say, isolate them. We try to disconnect them with the society. Because we feel that if they are going to be with us, their influence is going to be on the society. And you know what it is doing in turn? It's doing their situation more worse. To explain my point, I'll give you an example of a country which is called Portugal. In 2000, the addiction rate of the country was very high, like majority of population was addicted towards drug. And then this government, they have done a lot of research and they hired few, what you can say, scientists and doctors and all, and they asked them to bring out a solution. You know what they did? After a lot of study, they created a small place for those addicts. They created employment opportunities for them and they made them go there. And like it's like if there is a, what we can say, a shop for a woodcutter, they asked that woodcutter, the employer, to give him a job, and in turn the government would pay half of his wage. And eventually it ended up employing all those addicts in the society. And after a few months of this experiment, it was found that the drug addiction rate was reduced to 50%. Yes, my dear friends, you heard it right, 50%. Now, there is this thing which we need to understand. If you want to cure someone, then cutting them from the society, not treating them equally will not bring the change. We really need to bring them closer, give them that care, that love, that will make them feel that this kind of addictions are not needed. You know, the whole motive of this campaign which SIO is conducting is to make people realize if they are addicted towards it. It is purposeless, it is useless, it's going to cause their lives at times, you know. So it's all about that cage. We need to get them out from that cage. We need to make them bond with other fellow humans, their families and whatever. They need to have that purpose in their life. So in the end of the day, the message with this organization is trying to send us is, addictions are not going to do any good to us. The only thing they are going to do is harm. They have hundreds and thousands of ill effects. I'm very sorry to say, but every day out of all the accidents that happen in India, 9 accidents are because of drinking and driving. And I'm just not saying these things on my own. This is a statement given by National Crime Bureau. You can just check it on the web. Every day, hundreds and thousands of cases of lung cancer, throat cancer are registered. Every day, liver diseases, mental disorders are registered in hospital only because of these addictions. You know, this is like you are going on a road which will eventually lead to your own destruction. It's like you're digging your own grave and you're just gonna get buried in there very soon. And you're not going to realize it in the beginning. Initially, you're just going to enjoy it. But you will never realize when that enjoyment will become suffering and punishment for you. So, SIO of Karimnagar is trying to tell that, say no to addictions. Your life is very precious. Don't waste it for a piece of drug or for a bottle of wine. Just don't do that. Focus on your life. You are the future of this nation. Work hard, make your parents feel proud of you, make a good career, help your parents when they get old, prepare goals for your life and be successful. This is all what we are trying to tell. So I just hope that with the help of this video, our message is clear. We want to say that always stay into this kind of addictions, because our life is more valuable than a piece of cigarette or a bottle of wine or whiskey. We're going to be talking in much detail about other things as well, but for now it's a goodbye. I'm signing off, but I have few requests I would like to make. First of all, there is this online pledge which we have created on our portal. It's www.siokna.com. After this video, I would like you to open that portal, the link to which will be provided into the description box down below. Just open that and you need to sign that petition. It's as a pledge that you are going to stay away from addictions. It should be your first step. Then give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below what you feel, share this video with your friends because they might really need help on this issue. So the only thing which I would like to tell you is be a part of this campaign, as I was really doing a great and a hard work for all of you people out there. So be with us, and whenever you feel like you have time, try to go out to your friend and try to make him aware about this kind of addictions. So with this one slogan, I would like to end this video. Say no to addictions. Have a good day. This is Ansar signing out.